Hi, yeah, welcome back. I stopped recording live to do a couple of things in the background because Unix interface takes attention to detail to a full new level. All right, so a couple of things. We we logged into a particular folder within Cloudera interface. We're still on Unix. We copied a file from the internet, we unzipped it, we changed the permissions, and we wanted to move it into Hadoop. That's what we've been doing so far. And so we made a directory. Now, if you look carefully, we logged into Hadoop, and so all commands are prefaced with Hadoop file structure, FS. So we made a directory. Here, which means all these commands we were executing, we didn't find the directory. So essentially, we made the directory in here, and then we put the file eventually into the site folder, which is why we were able to list it here and find it here. And then after that, we simply launched Hive. We launched Hive somewhere here, anywhere. Where are you, Hive? Anyways, yes, Hive. And so it came with a bunch of warnings. And then we now created a table in Hive. Now that was after a lot of painful processes. So essentially, this is where it happened. We can forget about all the failed ones because of some textual errors. Oops. So essentially, this is a create command. So we are creating, and you have to specify the data type. You have to specify delimited. You have to specify the nature of the file. And it tells me, yay, in 6.67 seconds, we created a table in Hive. And so if we do show tables, even though it's one table, oops. Where's my table? It fetched one row. Show tables. Fetch one row. Okay, so we'll go offline again and we'll come back. Yeah, so to provide further update, I have done a couple of things. We eventually got a hold of the file. Yes, and I believe we talked about it. We went into Hive, and then we created the file. After a couple of tries, I'm embarrassed to say, but we eventually had success. The file is here with the show command, which I have gone over before. And then what else did we do? And then we showed the tables we have, and then we described the tables. The table, it has two int fields, and then we actually moved our data, which is a text file, into our table. Kind of trivial in Windows platform, but hey, we are Hadooping. And then, just to make sure the file actually went in somewhere, we showed the first 10 rows of the table. And so we would, in the next segment, we would run a couple of SQL-like commands so that we will not only see, we'll become believers in Hive. Okay, so on that note, so yes, since we left off, we've made some baby steps. I believe before I paused, we had counted the first 10 records and displayed them. And then the only earth-shattering thing we did was to what did I do? Yeah, was to now launch a Hive job to count the number of records. And again, this gives us an opportunity to appreciate the place of special tools in the big data domain, because it took us just 20, how many seconds? 20 seconds, 490 milliseconds. Amazing. Actually, it took longer than that because something was going on with my computer, to count the number of records. And where the heck is number of records? Yes, and there were a lot of records. Like, where is this? 16 million records. Okay. And yeah, okay, so it took us 109 seconds to count that, slightly under 2 minutes to count all that stuff. Okay, so we will again, like I said, baby steps, nothing earth-shattering yet. So I will pause again. Yes, so I'm back. So I did a couple of things. Where did I stop? Gosh, I can't remember anymore. Anyway, so I believe at the time I crawled the last time, we had selected the first 10 records of our table, still in Hive, hence the prompt, and we did that, and it fetched it. Then I ran into trouble. My computer froze or something. I have no freaking clue. And then what did I do here? I said count the records in the table site, and it did take forever, and then it failed. And I did it again because I typed something wrong. Yeah, it was perfect with all these ends because of the funny question it was asking me. Anyway, so I did it again, and then it ran, and it went into MapReduce and did its magic, and it came back and it told me how many records, which again is not dramatic. It just counted the records, so it is what it is. Point being, it did a map, it did a reduce, it told us what it was. And then the next thing we did was we created another table. And basically here what we're trying to do is to create another table and then stuff the table with the results of another query, which we did here. This is overwrite this new table, select this and that, and group by, and then dump it in it. And then it did that, and a bunch of gobbledygook. And so this just shows you the output of a MapReduce procedure, where it maps first and it reduces first. And you will notice that the reduce will never start until the mapping is done, because obviously it uses the output from the map to do the reduce. And here we go. And so there was a table, but we didn't really do anything with it. We just counted. We just selected the first 10, make sure there was content in there. There is, because it's a pretty big file, but I guess it's not dramatic by Hadoop standards. And so the file was there. And then we just dropped the file, and then we did another show to show that the file is no longer there, and that's about it. So in summary, we can use Hive to do things we wouldn't ordinarily do because the data is too huge. That's the upside. Another upside is the fact that Hive allows us to be shielded from the complex Java code required in MapReduce, at least by an average person standards. Obviously people do write MapReduce code, but I guess intelligence wise or programming wise they are slightly above average. Kudos to them. But for the rest of us mortals, we would like to use Hive, and it does do the job well, if you don't count the typing errors, which is trivial in the grand scheme of things. So that's my little video. I would hope I could do one on pig pretty soon. Pig was, I found, a little bit easier, probably because I didn't do so many file manipulations. But yeah, that's about it. All right, so have a good evening.